The crowd on the toes, waiting for me to
Bro.
start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up.
Bro.
Home. Whoa, my father.
Hey!
What, bro?
You know the WrestleMania 39 predictions vid is today, right?
Today? Those are today.
Let me guess. You forgot, right? You forgot about the WrestleMania 39 predictions video, didn't you?
I mean, I ain't, obviously I didn't forget because, Mania is this weekend, but, the actual video itself, I didn't really.
Just like you forgot to upload, right? It's been weeks, bro. Sometimes you even take months.
Got it, bro, okay? I get it, all right?
You're always doing this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Weeks, months go by and you don't upload, and then it's always the case of, oh, I'm gonna come back, or I'm gonna upload.
Okay, damn. I'm gonna do it, bro. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it right now.
Well, sit your ass down and do these damn predictions then.
I'm gonna do it right now, all right? I'm gonna do it right now. I got the chair. I'm gonna do it right now, man. Damn. All right, here we are. WrestleMania 39 predictions. Before I was rudely interrupted singing Cody Rhodes' theme song, top 5 theme in wrestling right now. Do not at me. Anyway, with the start of these predictions, John Cena versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Going to be opening the show as well, so that's going to be a great opener for WrestleMania Night 1 on Saturday. I honestly can see this going either way, really. You know, with Theory trying to prove to the WWE universe and John Cena that he is he's going to best all the doubters. He's going to prove everybody wrong, essentially. I can see them going that route and him maybe going forward, having a push, whatever they decide to do with him. But I can also see Cena winning the title and having his US Open Challenge thing happen again and him have really good matches. Obviously, the Cena thing is kind of a shot in the dark because of his movie making schedule and, how he's not necessarily always available. So maybe not, I've heard some rumors, Cena can win the title and then drop it on the following Raw after WrestleMania and they can have some big surprise. Jay White has been rumored. I don't know how, true or factual that is, but that would be pretty crazy. So there's a lot of different ways they can go with this, but I feel like majority of people would say Theory. But honestly, I wouldn't be upset at either result. You know what I mean? Theory, he's had the U.S. title. He had his whole feud with Bobby and Seth. He doesn't necessarily need it anymore. I'd like to see him move forward, hopefully into the world title picture once that whole unification thing gets split and that gets sorted out. Obviously, I don't think they just throw him right into the title picture, but he'll have, more upper echelon-esque feuds outside of the U.S. title picture. Have Asuka versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. The build for this match has kind of been a little weird and a little lackluster. It's just been, Asuka and Bianca coming out on Raw and they'll cut up, Bianca will cut a promo, then Asuka will look at her menacingly and laugh, and then she'll start to spit out the blue, dark blue goop and stuff, and that's kind of it. This past Monday on Raw for the go home, they just showed a video package showcasing, all of their positives and, trying to build up the match. A lot of the time with these matches, the builds aren't always the greatest, and I'm not saying these matches in terms of women's wrestling, just a lot of feuds suffer from poor build-up, but the match is the biggest payoff ever. So especially with Charlotte and Rhea and Bianca and Asuka, I feel like the match is going to pay off a lot more than the build-up has. So, granted, with the lackluster build-up, I still feel like this match will be great. Bianca Belair, I feel like is going to retain, She's been on a really dominant tear. I think she's currently the longest reigning African-American women's champion in WWE history. So that's a cool accomplishment. And I'm pretty sure they're going to keep that train rolling and have her hopefully, initially I really wanted Rhea to challenge Bianca. I really wanted Rhea and Bianca to face off. They were supposed to have a match at Money in the Bank last year for the Raw Women's Championship, but Rhea got hurt. So they had to pull her off and replace her with somebody else. And then they just went through these long months of staying apart, and I finally thought, they were going to come back at Mania, have the big match, and that was going to be that. But, I feel like Bianca's going to hold it, and like I said, hopefully face Rhea heading down the line, or whatever the case is, whatever other challengers that are out there for Bianca, I hope, she can fight her. And then straight on to the Rhea and Charlotte match. Charlotte strictly there just to take the title off of Ronda. Ronda's come out and said she wanted to be taken away from the title picture because she said she didn't necessarily need it. She can do other feuds without the title, and she wants there to be more women's rivalries without the title being the only focal point of the feud. You know what I mean? So that'd be pretty cool if that does happen with Ronda. But Rhea's gonna win it here. Probably the hottest woman in the company right now, literally and figuratively. So now it's her time. Kind of one of the big focal points of the Judgment Day. Alongside Dom, Finn, and Damien, obviously. I feel like now's the time to pull the trigger on her without a doubt. Rhea definitely deserves it. I hope she can have a long, fulfilling reign as champion. So I can definitely see Rhea winning the title from Charlotte here. Now we have Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. We all know what this match is going to be, a banger match. Logan versus Seth. You know, a lot of fans feel a little indifferent about it because they feel Seth deserves like a main event program, main event opponent, all that great stuff. But Seth has proven time and time again, you throw him out there with anybody, and he's going to have a absolute great match. Throw him out there on Mania, have potentially one of the matches of the night. Not potentially, it will be one of the matches of the night, no doubt. And I feel like we can all agree that Seth Rollins is going to take this one over Logan Paul. But I'm excited to see what spots they pull out because Logan is always doing some crazy shit, man. Dude's doing springboard forearms, fucking buckshot lariats, diving from the top rope to the outside announce table. Like, they have him loaded with spots, and I'm excited to see what he does at Mania. Next up, we have Brock Lesnar versus Omos. This could go either way, but I've without a doubt, I'm pretty sure, Omos is going to take the win. Brock's going to put him over. And, a lot of people were like, oh, this just screams big name Mania match. And there are always cases like that where there's like just the match is there solely due to the fact that it's a big name match. Brock's in it, Mania Day, paycheck, all that great stuff. But it's going to be one of those matches where it's two big hosses throwing bows, and that's literally all you need. Big spots. When Brock picks up Omos for the F5, the crowd's gonna get on their feet and they're gonna go crazy. That's what this match is for. And sometimes as a wrestling fan, you kind of have to sit back, suspend all logic, suspend all like, oh, this isn't it's a technical match. Like, a lot of matches won't be that, When Braun and Big Show fought on Raw some years ago, they were doing wrist locks and kip ups, and Braun was doing drop kicks, and they broke the ring. Like, it was stuff like that was just like really cool, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. I just said it isn't a technical masterpiece, but I hinted at the fact that Braun and not Brock Lesnar, Big Show were doing wrist holds and kip ups and stuff and drop kicks. So, but yeah, big dudes, big men slapping meat. That's all you need. Omos for the win. Next up, we have the WrestleMania Showcase matches. I'm going to kind of bundle them together within a prediction. Braun and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. And then we have the women's side with Liv and Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda and Shayna, and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Now for the women's match, it's pretty much a random conglomerate of just women. Again, these matches are just Mania kind of payday matches. You can view them as that, but they're still going to be fun, I can hope, especially the men's match. After on Raw, they had this, babyface teams versus heel teams show off. It was crazy. Ricochet hit a swanton off of Braun's shoulders, and Montez did he turned midair and did a frog splash over Braun, which was crazy. So I already know that match is going to be fire. Honestly, for the women's match, Shayna and Ronda probably will win that. I feel like they need that. They need some more fire behind them. They've kind of been in lackluster feuds. Ronda had the feud with Shotzi at Survivor Series. Shayna's been kind of in and out, helping Ronda feud with Raquel and stuff. And I feel like Liv and Ronda never really got their due diligence. Hopefully they can rekindle that later on down the line, whether it be for the title or just, singles feud, like Ronda said, wanting more feuds without the title, which would be cool. But yeah, for the women's match, I feel like definitely Ronda and Shayna could take it. And then for the men's match, I want the Street Profits to get a big win. I feel like they take a lot of flack sometimes. They take a lot of falls on Raw. Not to say that hurts anyone in the wrestling business, because that whole trope, that whole narrative is false. Like for Seth, for example, he lost to Cody Rhodes 3 times, doesn't do anything to Seth, doesn't hurt him, doesn't damage him in any sense of the word. So for a fact, if the Street Profits don't win here, it's not going to be the end of the world. But at the end of the day, I want them to have their big moment. Or you could do a Chad Gable Alpha Academy thing, with Otis and the Maximum Male Models kind of having their thing going on. Is he going to leave Chad in the match, or are they going to do something after Mania? Who knows? You know what I mean? So I'd either see it going Alpha Academy's way or the Street Profits. So kind of cheating here, but either of those two teams for the men's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Showcase match. Next up, we have Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky versus Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. For weeks, there have been rumors about Trish turning heel, whether it be at Mania or after Mania is the question. Trish not being part of that tag team, and her kind of showing up later to the party, because she was initially slated to show up at the same time, or relatively close to the same time as Lita, but then I think she She wasn't at a Raw that she was reportedly supposed to be at, where they changed their mind, so they could play off that. She showed up a little late to the party. You know, she's jealous. She's, you know, this past Monday on Raw, Miz had asked Lita and Trish, how does it feel to be back up to the man? They could play on that. Trish is pissed, you know, always being disrespected, treated as a sideshow rather than the main attraction. There's a lot of ways you can go with a Trish and Becky feud or whatever the case is in terms of that. I feel like Damage Control really needs a win, though. You know, Becky's promo on Raw where she was saying they've done naught. They've done literally nothing. Io's a lackey. Dakota's a lackey. They've held the tag titles for a little bit. They defended them maybe 2 or 3 times. I don't know the exact number. But yeah, Damage Control needs this win, bro. They need this win. Solidify it. They deserve it at Mania. You know, with stuff with the tag titles with Becky and Lita, I'm pretty sure that'll get sorted out, and then, you know, Trish and Becky can have their feud, or however they, like I said, however they decide to go about it. So yeah, definitely a Damage Control win here. Next up, you got Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. I can see this going either way. Dom, you know, Rey putting over Dom. He needs, you know, the win. You know, all these promos for what seems like a year ever since turning on Edge and Rey at Clash of the Castle last year. Seems like a much needed, like, you know, assertion right here. Like, Dom gets the win over his dad. Or it could finally be Rey's triumphant. You know, he finally hit his son last week on SmackDown. You know, this big comeuppance, this big, you know, finally beat down the big bad in Dom. So they could go that way. But I feel like majority of people would say Dom's going to get the win, which I totally agree with. Dom needs it. Judgment Day is going to be on top on this pay-per-view. I already know. Edge versus Finn, Hell in a Cell. Again, Judgment Day looking to come out on top. Finn bringing back the Demon. Super hype, bro. When Finn debuted in 2014 in NXT and then had that run of all the Demon paints and all those crazy feuds in NXT, he was my favorite wrestler in the entire world, man. Like, I was super hot on Finn, super high on him. Came up to the main roster, Universal Champion, unfortunate injury and stuff. I was so hyped for him. I still am hyped. I love him. He's still one of my favorite wrestlers. But yeah, besides that, you know, Edge having sort of like an ominous promo a couple weeks ago, maybe looking to bring more of that broody gimmick back, maybe a Brood style entrance with flames, and then finally a Finn Balor Demon entrance at WrestleMania is what we need. And I've seen a bunch of stuff on Twitter about look how crazy the Mania stage looks, and it's not even fully built yet. You can already see the details and everything. I am so hyped for these entrances at Mania. I'm telling you, man. Finn's entrance are going to be crazy. And I'm just super excited for this match alone anyway, because it's Finn and Edge at a Hell in a Cell match. They're going to be pulling out some crazy spots. But yeah, man, enough rambling about that. Finn picking up the win. Judgment Day, like I said, on top for this pay-per-view. Next up, we got Drew versus Sheamus versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. This match, calling it now, will probably be match of the night. You know, like, just big dudes throwing big bows. We got chops, we got forearm strikes, we got big clubbing blows, we got headbutts, we got shotgun drop kicks. You name it, this match will have it, man. And you know, a lot of people saying Sheamus could potentially pick up the win because he's never held the Intercontinental Championship. And you know, a lot of people would say Gunther will continue his reign, which I feel like will probably more likely happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sheamus won the IC title and went on a long run and had bangers of his own to finally solidify the fact that, you know, he finally got the Intercontinental Championship, and then Gunther can move on and start heading to that world title picture. You know, he can rekindle that rivalry he had with Cody Rhodes at the end of the Royal Rumble when Cody entered at 30 and threw Gunther out after that little great little segment of minutes they had in the ring together. So there's a lot of ways that can go, but I feel like Gunther or Sheamus could take it. And in this one, I'm gonna say Sheamus. I truthfully believe that, like, Gunther is gonna, like, head on to that, you know, feud with Cody or whatever the case is. There's been rumors about Cody fighting Randy when he comes back. He's been rumored to be around for Mania this week, so we'll see what happens. But I feel like Sheamus could take it. You know, I'm gonna be a little different. You know, have my predictions not be as straightforward. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we got Sami and Kevin Owens taking on the Usos for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships. I got Kevin and Sami all the way winning this. The Usos don't even need the titles. You know what I mean? So, you know, with Jay rumored to be going on to fight Roman, the bloodline crumbling, falling apart, this is step one of that. Tag title stripped. Sami and Kevin win. Triumphant. Crazy stuff. Hopefully they go on to fight a bunch of tag teams that have great matches for the tag titles. But yeah, this is step one in the bloodlines crumbling down. You know, we've seen the teases of Jay being hesitant. We've seen the instances of Roman belittling Jimmy when Jay was away from the bloodline for those couple of weeks before Mania. And Solo, this past week on Raw, or a couple weeks ago, Cody saying he's not ready and Roman knowing he's not ready. But Solo, being the enforcer for the bloodline, doing all this dirty work for the bloodline, knows his worth, and that'll be the turning point again against Roman. So there's a lot of different ways I can go with that post, Mania and stuff. But yeah, definitely Sami and Kevin picking up the win. And then just straight into the main event, Cody versus Roman for the Undisputed Championship. I want Cody to win. Cody Rhodes, such a nuclear babyface, nuclear reaction every time he steps out there, the whoa, the pyro. He's on top of the world right now, man. And like, there's times where there's opportunities are missed and you don't pull the trigger. Now's the time to pull the trigger. A lot of people would argue Roman needs to hold the title so we can have this feud post WrestleMania. Honest question, does Roman need the titles to still have those feuds? Like, granted, for the Jey Uso feud, obviously the title would mean a lot more because they fought for the title back in 2020. They had the whole Hell in a Cell thing go on, the I Quit match, all that crazy stuff, and the title was a significant part of that. But the story was so much more important, I feel like, Jimmy having to get in there and break it up and try to save Jay, and then Roman locking Jimmy into that submission and make Jay say I quit. Like, stuff like that was so much more than what any championships could do. And you could have Cody go on to face Randy, Gunther, whoever else, because there's so much great talent in the WWE right now. So it's like Cody could have bangers with anybody after the fact, you know what I mean? And like, true question, does Roman need those titles to feud with the likes of Jay or whoever else? Seth Rollins rekindled that feud from the Rumble in 22, where it was a no DQ finish and then it kind of just dropped off after that because Vince wanted the huge unification match with Brock at Mania. Bunch of bullshit. Nonetheless, I want Cody to win. Will he win? Maybe not. Like I said, I'm probably in the minority when it comes to the fact that when I think does Roman need titles, they're going to keep the titles on him. He's approaching 1,000 days. All this stuff is very apparent. So, I mean, that's that. You know what I mean? I think my prediction is I want Cody to win, but my prediction is going to be Roman Reigns. Either way, I'm happy with a lot of the results on Mania, whichever way they go, except for certain title matches. Like, Rhea definitely should win. Bianca definitely should retain. Sami and Kevin should definitely win the tag titles. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, any other match, whichever way it goes, I'm happy. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. WrestleMania 39, super hyped for the show. The most hype I've been for a wrestling show in a very long time. Mania 38 was great last year. This one's about to exceed all expectations. I can only hope. The card's looking great. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, see you at Mania.